it's Alicia here with my work basket, back for another Friday flip, where I go page by page and flip through some old magazines on camera. This week I grabbed a set of 2 magazines that I wanted to flip through. And then I got a bonus of this quick little booklet. So recently on Facebook, someone posted in a group a kind of goofy crocheted item that they got at a thrift store, and my friend sent me a picture and was like saying how much she loved it, and I loved it too, and I was like, I think I have that pattern. So I am now on a quest through my collection of vintage magazines, hoping to find this very goofy looking pattern. And I've been through several magazines looking already. These are some issues I found while looking for something else that I was like, it could have been in here. So I pulled these off to go through and hopefully look for this funky pattern. So first up, we've got the bonus. This was just tucked between these two when I pulled it off the shelf. Old and New Favorites from Coats & Clark, book 205. There's knit and crochet in here. It starts with a knit lace doily. Oh, that one's cute. The crochet lace stole. I love the way it's got these curly cues. That is a fantastic fringe. That is amazing. The stole measures 30 by 80 inches, excluding fringe. The only thing that gets me with the crochet thread patterns, how much thread they use. These use size 30 thread. So with more modern, it's easier to find size 10. You'd use less motifs. But it uses 21 balls of the ones that they call for here. Now, some of these older patterns were smaller balls, so it takes less than that, but it still takes quite a few to make something like a full stole like this, especially those. Fantastic. I am so into this curly cue fringe. So things with crochet thread just take so much crochet thread. Then we've got the crochet dress. Knit lace mat. I don't know why I felt like I stuttered on that. Nice avocado. I saw on a video they said avocado, and now every time I try to say it out loud, I have to struggle because I want to say avocado, and I'm like, nobody's going to know what that is, Alicia. Nobody's going to know what an avocado is. Crochet tote bag and crochet mini kini. That pretty much dates when this book is from right there. Pineapple tablecloth, crochet vest and cloche. If you had any question about the era this little booklet is from, which I don't think I looked for a copyright 1970. Usually I look for a copyright right at the beginning when I start an issue, and I kind of forgot on this one. A lot of these older little books like this don't actually have one, so it's probably just a habit that I don't look for one. Knit tunic. This is pretty neat. It's done sideways across most of the body, so the knitting actually goes this direction. That's always a really nice way to build in a lot of ease and movability. And that's that. Knit the crochet bedspread here on the back. And that's the quick little bonus booklet. We also have the Brunette Gift Bazaar Handicrafter, number 54. It originally cost 75 cents. All right. Copyright 1956. You can see on this page, we are heading into some good stuff here. Nice bed jackets. One has a really neat crossover stitch. I'll be honest, I feel like bed jackets are amazing, and it's kind of interesting that they lost popularity because it's a valid thing. You know, you're sitting up to read, your shoulders get cold, but then when you crawl under the covers, your shoulders aren't cold, and I just think they're amazing. I actually do have a few. Usually I think to use one for a little while, and then I put it in the wash and I forget to reuse it or to get another one after it comes out of the wash. But I should make some because I think they're amazing. Whether it's the winter or it's just the chilly air conditioner season. But I think that jackets are amazing. Got some different slippers here. different slippers and socks. These socks are shown in color on the cover, so it's these guys. The fashion for hoods, frankly flattering, delightfully feminine. She's pert and pretty, the girl in the cuddle cap. Headgear as you like it, more or less. This one is really cute. I find it interesting how far back pushed on her head it is. I also love this bonnet style one. And then some bun covers. Dickies, wardrobe changers for her, for him. Well, my hair isn't falling into camera. It keeps falling in my eye and I can't tell if it's falling in the camera or not. Collars. Can't have a vintage craft book without a collar. These are the two scarves shown on the front cover. And you can see them up here on the wall, here and here. The interesting thing is this one, it looks almost woven up here in the stitch. I think you crochet across and then weave yarn through, looking at the instructions. Yep, that's what it looks like. So you crochet back and forth with leaving these gaps and then add some color. Old classic striped scarves. Just like the grown-ups. Designed for fun indoors and warmth outdoors. I think I've actually made this one before. I can't think of what happened to it if I gave it away or something, but I'm pretty sure I've actually made this. So then this other bottom one is, and these top two are wigs that are also hats. Some little footy socks, golf club covers, more footy socks. The idea of crocheting such a fancy, like, umbrella or parasol cover kind of cracks me up. Like, it seems kind of useless, right? Yeah, this one kind of wows me right there. The cute little dolls that are shown in color on the front cover. And these little guys. I'll be honest, the shape of this poor little fella doesn't translate well to modern times. But you can see those guys here, and here's the little cat head. It looks a little bit better when it's just hanging there, but this borders on looking inappropriate. It probably is great for like a baby's grasp though. And here's the little, like the old grandma one. That was, I thought that one's on the cover. There's the two little, oh, here we go. I was about to say, I know I saw that one just now. It's just a tiny little old lady there. The dog sweater. Pillows. This pillow's on the front cover. Stocking. Little cup cozies. And a teapot cozy. I don't know if it'll show well. This has a really bold crisscross stitch that's really neat to look at. Sometimes the details like that, I can't tell if they're going to come across on the big camera or not. Fancy button covers. See, they would be sold in a pack. And that's that. And then this is an ad for the Brunette rug packs. And the back is the same as the front. So unfortunately, the goofy pattern we're looking for, not in this one. But it has some goofy stuff of its own. This is a ladies' home journal, Ideas for a Merrier Christmas from 1965. It does have a bit of water damage. but I think, you know, hopefully you get to see at least most of the pages. I do keep magazines in my collection unless they're really badly damaged or if I feel like they have mold that's going to transfer. So I personally just kind of suffer through the wibbly bits and keep going. 1965, I think I said that part already. Sugar plum tree, make your own. I always wanted to do, I get really into Christmas trees. I do multiples in my house. And I always really wanted to do a Christmas tree in the kitchen that everything on it was edible. That it was like baskets, and the baskets were full of candy and things like that. Like a sugar plum tree like they show here. I do have a tree in my kitchen now, but I ended up getting a flocked tree. And that white flocking just falls all over everywhere. So anything edible would have to also be wrapped, and I just do like a whole counter full of candy. It gets a bit crazy. It's their Christmas too. Plan things they can do. That is very true. You know, I think one of the things you miss as your kids get older is the small little handmade Christmas ornaments and Christmas crafts and... A royal Christmas tree from Queen Victoria's days. The festive tree shown in the engraving on this page was an annual treat for the royal children in Windsor. So let's... During Victoria's reign. Toys to make, just waiting to be loved. I love this wreath, actually. And then there's more toys on this page. I hope this water damage, I hope the wrinkles aren't affecting how the lighting and all is on the video. I'm trying to make sure you still get a good view. This elephant kind of cracks me up, his little pointy nose. A Jollier Santa. I love this guy. Every time I flip through this magazine, I'm like, I need to make this guy. He's so just delightfully fat. He's just a large, like, paper mache balloon body, all decorated, and I just love him. Costly looking Christmas decor has humble beginnings. Everyday sandwich wraps are the secret ingredient. Some of these downright crack me up because I see these fairly regularly where they're like, oh, they look so costly. Very rarely by our standards today do they look costly. I see some that really, this is actually probably one of the better looking ones. And I try to keep in mind that no doubt looks better in person than it does here. But quite often I see stuff that just kind of, it just doesn't, you know, like... But this is just made with Glad wrap. And they show some others kind of with the same a topiary tree. Now, I bet this done well could be really cute. Angels with all the elegance of a queen's court. Still in the Glad wrap. And then we get into Christmas dinner. Ooh, I wonder if there's a recipe for this Jell-O mold. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm over there as My Work Basket. You will notice I have a thing for Jell-O molds. I do occasionally make the really weird, like, salads. But mostly I like to make ones that are actually really edible and really good. And this just looks like it's probably really good. Like, it's probably just cranberry. But I do love to make a Jell-O mold. I'm trying to see. I don't actually see anything here for how to make it, which is quite disappointing. Maybe it's on another page. Maybe it's one of those things that they assume everyone does. Candles and wreaths. A glowing welcome that's charming and personal. I think so far, my family's actually liked most of the random Jell-O molds I've made. I did a tomato sauce Jell-O mold. That one did not go over very well. Honestly, my husband ate it okay. He was like, yeah, you know, you eat it with the food and it's almost like having barbecue sauce on your plate. My son took one bite and was like, no. I actually served mine in such a way that it melted and just kind of became like a sauce. And I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. But the next day I tried it straight out of the mold, and no, it's just like a solid bite of weird tomato sauce in your mouth. I was not a fan. I was kind of with my son on that one. That's the weirdest one that I've done, and that was the main one that my family didn't really care for. So this one is Go Creative with paper so beautiful they challenge the artist in you. See lively ways to use them in 2 or 3 dimensions. This gets back to my thing of crepe paper. Crepe paper and colored wax papers are so hard to find now, but they clearly used to be so much easier to find. I actually buy like sheet style crepe paper anytime I find it at like thrift stores and things like that, because it is so tricky. There's different ways to do candles. A fine finale. You got to make that plum pudding. Every year I swear I'm going to do that. I never actually have. I'd love to hear in the comments. Have you ever made a plum pudding? Like, have you made it? Do you buy one? Talk to me in the comments about your plum pudding. Or plum pudding fantasies if you have one like I do. That glamour touch makes it mean so much more. The nuts and cookies and... Happy Nutty Personal Trees. I really like this one. I hate that, like, you probably, I mean, the popcorn and gumballs and all, they're probably not very useful. Like, I don't know that I'd eat them after the holiday was over, except for these candy cane sticks that stay wrapped. But I like this one. I think it could still be done really cute. They all could be done with a bit of an update and still be kind of adorable. And there's multiple styles that shows you how to do. Candy, beautiful and delectably different. I'm trying to see. They say this must be the Stuffed Prunes. I was curious what they call this one. I've seen some where they try and claim that as like a sugar plum, and it's kind of not. And there happens to be a recipe for sugar plums. But I'm pretty sure this is just the Stuffed Prunes. Probably sugar plums. Kumquat Baskets. That must be these little guys. You buy a jar of preserved kumquats. I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever seen preserved kumquats in a jar. Candied orange and grapefruit peel would be this over here. Royal Brittle must be this one, which is like a fancy almond brittle. It's just got a bunch of different nuts instead of just pecans or just peanut. Space Age ornaments. These are the neat kinds that are held together with like rubber bands. I've seen a few of these. I can't remember if I've ever made one. I feel like I must have, but more candy. Those strawberry ones look really cute. Candy is one of those things to make that isn't usually as hard as people think, but it definitely takes a lot more work than people realize. A blue-eyed angel cloaked in pristine paper towels. The ultimate of a thrifty craft. Oh, this is one of the crafts like I was just talking about. A sophisticated snowman hides a bleach bottle past. But does he though? Does he hide that bleach bottle past? He's super cute. I mean, this would be like a great kids craft. But does he hide that bleach bottle past? Not really. Not at all. Cookies. Popcorn balls. Fruit makes a whole house festive. It looks almost like it's missing a page, but it is not. It really just goes from this thing about fruit with this black and white image. You can barely see a fruit going up looks like a newel post with a lamp on it. And then it cuts over to make it colorful, your Christmas cathedral. This is actually pretty large. Plywood makes the basic shape. I'd have to read the directions. But these are the little bottle brush trees. So all in all, this is probably a decent size. Plus made out of plywood. I mean, that's... I'm going to cut forward. I hate to cut forward, but I'm going to do it. Enlarge by squares. So it is 24 inches tall at its peak. That's a decent size. It's cute. It could be really cute if done right. An early American Christmas menu. Table trees and hanging trees with a flair for the unusual. This one is really neat to me. Like, I don't see in what world you could call that a tree, but it's really neat. And just the different ornaments at different angles. I'm trying to hold these water damaged ones at some different angles to help make sure that you get to see them. Santa's Cookie Shop. You notice the older style spelling. I've seen cookies spelled both ways over like the course of my collection, and I've never really been able to pinpoint down a time that it clearly made a change from one or the other, from like IE to Y. Like, I can't really tell you exactly kind of when that happened. Some applique. This is a really neat one. So I actually have a set of flowers similar to this. I'm not sure if this is the same one. I have a set of these that were vintage made. It might actually not be this exact one. It might be a different style. I have a set of flowers that were made and are in an antique, like antique or vintage, I haven't really dated it, measuring cup. And one time I was flipping through a magazine and it had an arrangement of the exact thing that had clearly been used to make the one that I have. I don't think it's this one. This one looks more like the style that is rickrack. I was all excited to share with you that it like matched mine, but mine is actually like yarn flowers. So I don't think that's the exact match to mine. Gifts you never could have made before. So here's the, yeah, these are the ones that are from Rick Rack. So this is not the same as mine. I was all excited when I saw that basket. A Madonna to cherish. Bright ideas to hang on your tree. I'm hoping, I feel like food dyes have gotten a bit more vivid. Maybe we're a little more relaxed about using them. I'm kind of hoping that this color just didn't translate well to the photography and all of the time, that they're more of a red and green. But at the same time, they're kind of cute in that way, that it's like a little faded and cute. Famous Journal fruitcake. We're having a tree trimming party. What is, oh, okay. I was like, what is inside this celery? So the celery has cream cheese mixed with deviled luncheon meat. So like a deviled ham mixed with cream cheese and other stuff, and some spices mixed in and stuffed in there. Let St. Lucia rain at your festival of lights. This is one that honestly I find a little bit creepy, especially her face. Yeah, especially her face. And for the Christmas gift that lasts all year, give subscriptions to Ladies Home Journal. A full year costs only $3. If you order 3 or more one-year subscriptions, the cost drops to just $2 each. Man, I wish magazines were still that affordable. Magazines are so expensive now, and I know a lot of it has to do with publishing costs, the paper costs, and it's just crazy how much they cost, though. Christmas in the Southern tradition, and it's got, let me make sure you get this. This is not a regular pie. What is this? I'm trying to read on the menu here what this seems to be. It sounds like it might be spinach ring with creamed mushrooms. That's the only thing on the menu that kind of looks like that. There's a lemon chess pie. I can't tell what that's supposed to be based on the menu here. I don't know how hard that'll be to read. Come to our house for Christmas excitement. for supper on Christmas Eve. I love these old menus. They're one of my favorite parts of old magazines. Here's one to come early for Christmas brunch. To come for eggnog and fruitcake. We'll have a buffet. The very young want their friends too, and it's a little kids menu. Come to our house because we're having a party for the young and hardy. Could you picture you have your teenager, or it says from school and college during the holidays, their kids are at home. Could you picture if you had a bunch of college kids or teenagers at your house and you give them ham and lentil casserole? I just feel like that would, or watercress and pimento French dressing. I feel like that would go over interestingly. Let's go with that. Something to eat and something to drink to make you merry. And there are just a bunch of finger foods and punch recipes. Drop in and stay on. These are the menu themes that I'm reading out. For a blessed relief party from too much rich food. Oh, that would be a fun party to have. It's like everybody else is feeding you. Let me give you a salad. Chicken livers and bacon is their not rich food at this blessed relief party. Yeah, chicken livers and bacon. That's the light food. Wouldn't you enjoy Christmas dinner in the Hawaiian manner? You have a recipe for lomi salmon, roast suckling pig, chicken luau, sweet potato banana bake. Alright, so the sweet potato banana bake is essentially sweet potatoes baked until they're soft. And then, well, you boil them until they're soft. And then you serve them, you arrange them in a greased casserole with 8 or 10 peeled bananas, dot with butter or margarine, pour a can of crushed pineapples all over it, bake it, and sprinkle shredded or flaked coconut on top. You know, I feel like that recipe was a roller coaster. And I'm not sure if I would eat it or not. It was like, okay, sweet potatoes. That's, all right, sweet potatoes. I'm not a huge fan, but that's coming up. With bananas, not so sure about that. A little bit of margarine, crushed pineapple, maybe. And so, yeah, I don't know. That one, yeah, that's another one. Let me know. Like, in all these Friday flips, please comment what jumps out at you. What did you find interesting? And I would love to hear your thoughts on the sweet potato banana bake. Brilliant ribbon ornaments. Capture the... I'm not even sure where I was just reading. I think my brain started reading and skimmed over. Catch the glow, the spirit of Christmas. These are just colored ribbons, different wool yarns, kind of different things. Salt and starch ornaments. A hanging creech. Jar top ornaments. These would actually be really fun to make still for kids today because so many things still come with good jar lids. And there's just so many different types of jars. Like picture, you save your spaghetti jar, your soda, vinegar lids, just all that type of stuff. You can still find a surprising amount of metal lids to decorate for kids' trees and they're not going to break it. Our heavenly choir of easy to make angels. I feel like it might have done them well to have 2 eyes visible on the angel in the photo. This is actually one of my favorite Christmas magazines in my stash. So, don't get the impression that I just laugh at it constantly. I think some of the crafts in here, here's a crochet ball with... This is one of my favorites. I love their approach. I love the way they had the different menus. I love that I feel like there's something for everybody. There's stuff for the religious. There's stuff for the not religious. There's a wide variety of recipes and menus. And I think that's great. This is easily one of my favorites. Just some of the stuff in here does not entirely hold up. And that happens when you do old magazines. That happens. Here's more information from the sugar plum tree at the very beginning and recipes. Make extra money for Christmas by selling Studio Girl sample cosmetics. Oh, goodness. times are very different now, obviously, but some of the claims they always make in these kind of remind me why we have laws now about claims. $102 in a day. She claims she finds it easy to make $15 for every hour they give to Studio Girl. Like, $15 an hour, even today, is fairly impressive to do over and over and over again with any kind of direct sales company. Like $1,000 a month. This just kind of reminds me of like why we have some of those laws now about how you can claim earnings. And then here is the 3 kings for the 3 wise men. And the instructions are in the book. So there's those 3 for our Friday flip. Unfortunately, none of them contain the weird pattern I am now on the hunt for. But they were really fun to flip through anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment in the comments below anything at all about these issues. You know, if you had one of these crafts, if you made one of these crafts, if you would make one of these crafts, anything that comes to mind about anything I just showed you from these issues, let me know. Talk to me about it in the comments. You know, maybe your grandma made you one. Maybe you made one for your daughter. Maybe, like, I mean, anything. Chat me up. That's what the Friday flip is about. It's your chance to talk to me and us chat like we're looking at these magazines together. So thank you for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. If not, that's okay. But no matter what you choose to do, I really hope that you have a great day, and I really appreciate you, and thank you for watching.